Oliver. Hey, buddy. Today is day 6. I want to talk to you about habit forming or stacking habits. Many people call it different things, but it's basically doing things that you don't really consciously think about. For instance, as you get older and you wake up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, you can almost do it in your sleep. I think Michael Jordan, which you'll read about in your history books, but it was said that Michael Jordan could hit free throws with his eyes closed. Matter of fact, I think he actually did it in a game because it was so habitual in what he did. You know, I told you yesterday about the 75-day challenge and what was the result of that. Well, there were a lot of things, you know, that I realized about my life, but there's also some things that developed out of that habitual. Now, for me, I'm a task-oriented person. I like checking things off of a list. When I make a list, I make boxes, and I get satisfaction of putting a check mark in that box. It sounds weird, I know, but it is what it is. With that being said, one of the things that I had to do in that 75 challenge was drink a gallon of water a day. All right, so out of that, I still do that. I think I forget how many days I'm into this now, 150, maybe 150 days into what I've been doing, almost 6 months. And I still challenge myself to drink a gallon a day. And most days I do that. There are some days that I don't now that I finished the challenge. But what I realized was I feel a lot better, and it has become a habit because it's a healthy habit. Now, with that being said, back in the early, almost 100 years from now in history, there was only like 7% of the population actually brushed their teeth. I know it sounds gross in today's world, but only 7%. So when we entered World War I, we actually had a hygiene issue. There were men were coming in to enlist, and they had rotten teeth, and it was a national security issue because as you will learn, if you have a toothache, it's extremely painful. So with that being said, they had to do something about it. So how did brushing our teeth became so a national habit? Well, what happened was the guy that first come out with toothpaste, Pepsodent or something like that, he started a marketing campaign. And basically, what he did was he created a trigger, which they did it on, marketing and sales and everything. He'd say, rub your tongue over your teeth, and if you feel that grit and grime, you have a film over your teeth. Well, that was the trigger, so people would do that, which would cause them to want to brush their teeth. So when they brush their teeth, they got a clean feeling. Now this is where the trick was. In the toothpaste that he had developed, he had combined 2 chemicals which gave the tongue a good feeling, a tingling feeling after they brushed their teeth. So that was the reward. So he had a trigger, he had a response, and he had a reward, which that's what we work off as human beings. We have a trigger. I love to ride my bike. One of the things that especially if I see something on television about riding my bike, if I see an ad about a bicycle, I want to go ride my bicycle. As that's the trigger, the response is I go ride my bicycle. The reward is that the endorphins that I get from feeling good after is the reward. Does that make sense? I hope it does to you. But let me bring this back to the fact of prayer walking. After I prayer walk for about 45 minutes to an hour, talking with God, praying, contemplating, meditating on the Word of God and things of God, I feel a connection with God like I don't do with anybody else. And I have a good feeling afterwards. I feel at peace. I have a calm. So, out of that 75 days that I did of walking twice a day, it became a habit. Now, when in the morning, the first thing that comes to my mind, one of the first things, after being thanks that God gave me another breath to live another day, is the fact that I want to go walk and have communion with God that morning. And as a response, I have a trigger when I wake up, giving thanks to God. I want to go to commune with God. And then the reward is I have peace with God. Hope that makes sense. If anybody's watching, hope that makes sense to you as well. So Oliver, create good habits. Have a trigger, you'll have a response, and there will be a reward. Many people do it for different things, with exercise, mental triggers, and things of that nature, and you have a reward. That's just the way we operate. Again, I'm sure it's a lot deeper psychological and way that they approach that, but that's my simple way of doing it. Anyway, and then I get to check it off the box. Let me, Oliver, I love you, buddy. And then ever how old you are, whether when I'm gone, hopefully you can look back and hear my voice and know that I love you. Talk to you later.